name is Kieran Metcalf and I'm the infant feeding lead for the 0 to 19 service in Wakefield. And this is Sarah, who is the Wakefield Family Hub lead for the UNICEF Baby Friendly Initiative. We would like to talk you through the Baby Friendly Initiative and what this means for you. The Baby Friendly Initiative is an evidence-based programme that sets the hospital and community standards of care for parents and babies. The community aspect of the programme was introduced initially for health visiting services, but recently widened to other community partners to address the continuing low breastfeeding rates in the UK. The standards encompass early years development and relationship building, as there is a clear link between the way we feed and nurture our babies for their long-term well-being and development. In Wakefield, both our maternity and health visiting services are already working to baby-friendly standards and have achieved accreditation. Our long-term goal is for all partners who provide care in the early years to be baby-friendly accredited, which is why we're moving towards our local breastfeeding peer support service, Families and Babies, and our family hubs becoming baby-friendly accredited. Sarah, as a lead for Families and Babies and the family hubs, what are the community standards that will be relevant for the family hub staff?
So as you can see from the slide here, the themes are broken down into 4 different parts. There's 3 tiers of training provided according to role and responsibility of the family hub workers and the peer supporter team. Tier 1 training aims to offer a full understanding of the family hub's infant feeding policy, an understanding of the BFI standards for the community and why they're important, why it's important to protect breastfeeding and formula feeding through the implementation of the WHO International Code of the Marketing of Breast Milk Substitutes. You'll sometimes hear this being referred to as the code or the WHO code. All staff will complete this aspect of the training.
So who would undertake Tier 1 training, Sarah, and what impact will this have on them?
So the Tier 1 training is a half-day course usually, and will be for roles such as business support staff, project support, head of service, and any non-client contact role. I would expect that all of the staff who complete the training have an understanding of how to create a warm and welcoming environment for families, to create a private space for parents to breastfeed if they require a private space. For everyone to be aware that images of formula feeding, to include bottles, teats and dummies, may undermine breastfeeding, and that people need to be mindful of this when developing their displays and social media posts. And for any parents that may be struggling with the breastfeeding, that they have an awareness that there is support on offer available to them to help overcome any challenges that they may be facing.
So if a member of the staff found resources endorsing an infant formula company in their family hub, how would you expect them to handle this, Sarah?
Okay. So I would expect for them to remove any of the resources to replace with appropriate resources instead, and to inform the venue manager, so the family hub manager, or to inform myself as baby friendly lead who could offer further guidance.
And where could they find more appropriate resources or materials to share with parents?
Oh, okay. This is covered lots in the training. We'd expect for them to look at the UNICEF, the Department of Health Start for Life, NHS or First Steps Nutrition websites. Each of the family hub as well has a resource box available to them. The resource box contains a doll, it contains a knitted breast, a set of belly balls, and also a Mothers and Others guide, which is a great resource to be able to use when supporting families. It contains lots and lots of relevant, useful information.
So what does Tier 2 training incorporate, and who would this be offered to?
Yeah. So the Tier 2 training covers everything that Tier 1 training covers, but it's extended in some areas, and some areas are sort of covered more in depth. The training is offered in person this time rather than it being an offer of an online provision, and this allows more time for discussion. It's offered to staff members such as the family and youth hub coordinators, the youth engagement workers, and the early intervention and prevention partnership managers. These staff may sometimes be in a position of supporting families, and they will be able to refer families for additional support with their breastfeeding. The Tier 2 training also explores the early parent and infant relationship building and how this can impact on baby's brain development.
So which staff would be undertaking Tier 3 training and what would that mean for them?
Yeah. So the Tier 3 training is delivered in person over 2 days. It's a comprehensive training programme. It's a full BFI breastfeeding and relationship training that all maternity and health visiting staff have undertaken. The training is offered to the early intervention and prevention practitioners, the family hub support workers and all community peer supporters too. The training enables staff to have all of the knowledge and skills to be able to support families throughout the breastfeeding journey, right from the antenatal period and into the 2nd year and beyond. Staff will be able to have supportive conversations in pregnancy around the specific health benefits of breastfeeding that's important for mothers to be aware of. And they will also be able to support parents in creating a responsive relationship following the birth too. If a parent presented at group within the hub, for example, and had a concern around breast or bottle feeding, then the Tier 3 staff would be expected to complete a feeding assessment and put any relevant interventions in place for the family. The Tier 3 staff can also refer into our local specialist services for the additional support that may be necessary occasionally too.
How else is breastfeeding being supported in the family hubs?
So each of the hubs now has a breast pump loan scheme. So families can loan a breast pump for a short period of time. This is after a breastfeeding assessment is completed, usually by a healthcare professional or the peer supporter team. Usually the loan scheme is for babies that may be struggling to effectively feed from the breast. They may have weight loss issues, or they may be sort of trying to build a supply of breast milk back after a period of having stopped. The healthcare professional may sometimes refer families to the loan scheme after a feeding plan has been put in place, and the mother may need to express a milk for baby. All business support staff, early intervention and prevention practitioners, the family hub support workers are trained in how to use a breast pump. And the early intervention and prevention practitioners, family hub support workers and the peer support team can support a family through the common challenges of breastfeeding, including the use of a breast pump to help to maximise any breast milk that baby may receive. Tier 3 trained staff know how to support the family to breastfeed for however long they wish. Everyone's journey is so different. They support families with understanding how to safely and responsibly breast and bottle feed the babies. They support parents to make informed choices regarding the introduction of food and fluids other than breast milk through groups, workshops and one-to-one discussions with parents too.
There's so much happening in our community to support our families with their infant feeding. We know that 8 out of 10 women stop breastfeeding before they wanted to, and this can impact on the emotional and physical health of both the mother and the child. Breastfeeding is all our responsibility, and here in Wakefield we also have the Breastfeeding Friendly Wakefield scheme to encourage local businesses in being breastfeeding friendly. BFI accreditation is something that all services are proud of being a part of to help parents across our district. It means that staff feel confident in their knowledge and skills when having discussions with parents, that families have access to evidence-based information when making decisions how to feed their baby, and appropriate support is available to help them achieve their feeding goals. On the slide, there is further information that you can gain from the Families and Babies and the UNICEF Baby Friendly website. Sarah's email address is also on there, so if you have any concerns about Baby Friendly or with regards to breastfeeding support, you can contact Sarah directly. As well as all of this support that we have for universal families, we do offer some specialist breast clinics weekly, both through the maternity and also the 0 to 19 services, where families can be referred for more complex feeding issues. The link to the Breastfeeding Welcome Scheme is also there. Thank you.